In today's video, we are officially presenting our July forecast of 2023. Today is July 1st, and that's why we're doing it. So, before we get into things, be sure to check out Prestige Weather, where we give you guys one-on-one weather information unlike any other source anywhere. It's really revolutionary, actually, what we're doing. We're giving calls once a week for now. We're doing that, and we're releasing some early content from Direct Weather, which has been the biggest thing that has brought people in. Originally, we had the July forecast actually on our community there. Right now, we have the fall forecast up, which is an early release, and you guys can check that out by clicking the description and pinned comment down below, and we're going to be releasing the winter forecast there early as well. So be sure to check it out and learn more about the perks by using the link in the description and pinned comment down below. Also, we're using our trilogy maps here in this video, so if you want the highest definition, most customizable maps anywhere on the internet, you can also check out our trilogy maps, and that's going to be in the description and the pinned comment down below as well. Now, as you can see, we're starting out with our precipitation forecast, and we do expect drier conditions overall across this central region in general of the United States, the plains up into the upper Midwest. I do expect a lot of high pressure to set up here over the south central United States, and this is going to force a lot of precipitation to really want to move around this area. I would say I'm the most confident in the southern regions here being below normal, and the least confident in the most northern areas. I think at times we might see some of this storminess kind of moving a little bit like this, and this could lead towards some extra precipitation for this area. But for now, it looks mostly drier over a lot of these areas. I'd say a majority of the areas here. As we move on and just add our second layer here, you can see that we do have that second layer of below average precipitation here for some of the four corner states, including Colorado and New Mexico. Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas there. Again, kind of just right over that area that I indicated that we would see some higher pressure. I think that for sure we're going to see most of the precipitation move around this area at most points. There's obviously going to be some times where there's precipitation here, but I think that we're going to see a lot of moving around this area, and that is going to lead towards some drier conditions overall. So that is the expectation at this point. Now, as we move on and add that above average precipitation, we can see that we have our first layer here for the eastern United States. I do expect plenty of storminess to be moving up the coast here, and that is going to lead towards quite a bit of above average precipitation. This is pretty on par with what we saw for a lot of the month of June. So I would say we just saw an expansion there of that drier area here for July. I really feel like, according to our analogs and our models combined, when you combine those two things, plus what we've been seeing already for the month of June into the very beginning of July here, that this is pretty on point with what the expectation would be. Now, we even have a second layer here of the above average precipitation here, as you can see, and that's going to be for along the coast here. For along the southeast coast, all the way up through about Boston into southern New Hampshire and southern Maine is where we cut off that above average precipitation. So this area in particular, we expect not only just precipitation in general, so thunderstorms being very active. I'm not even going to rule out, some tropical activity near the southeast. Just with how June went and, the tropics right now, how they look, we can't even rule out some potential tropical concerns. So with that being said, there's multiple different ways that we could see above average precipitation. That is my expectation at this point overall. As we move on to the temperature forecast here, as you can see, we expect below normal temperatures here from Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi eastward there, as you can see, all the way to the East Coast. We expect below normal temperatures. So a lot of this is going to be moving down the coast kind of in this fashion here. This also, having a trough in this area, historically leads towards more chances of tropical activity. So this kind of reinforces that claim that I made a minute ago that we would not be able to rule out tropical concerns. This kind of leads us more into that direction even more. So multiple different concerns here, obviously, but tropical concerns are a little bit elevated compared to normal, which honestly for July, the average concern for tropical activity is not very high whatsoever, but it's just a tiny bit higher at this point because of the conditions in the tropics. because of the jet stream pattern set up by this, it would basically it would encourage and have an open door to tropical systems just moving straight into the eastern United States. There is no system here in this type of an air pattern that would really force those storms away. So there's nothing stopping it from happening, I guess is the best way to put it. As we add our next layer here, you can see that we do have a further below average region, and this is going to be mostly for the mid-Atlantic and the northeast here. And this is the same area that's been seeing the far below normal temperatures throughout June. We expect plenty of the same. Again, the source is going to be up there in Canada, so I think that these are going to be a little bit closer to the tap, if you will. And this is just going to lead towards a little bit further below normal temperatures up the East Coast. Or I guess you should say that my confidence is higher in these darker blue regions, at least, of seeing below normal temperatures. I think there's a lot of truth there. So again, in a warmer pattern for this area, just imagine with me for a second, you would see storms be forced away by high pressure if they did move into this area. But with the colder air, I mean, they are kind of just encouraged to move right on in at times, and we can get more of a nor'easter type storm with these tropical systems. A lot more precipitation moving in as they kind of get just engaged in that jet stream, and they actually kind of want to just move through. So sets up a little bit of a dangerous pattern. Could see more flooding concerns in July, similar to June for the east. Now, as we take a look at the above normal temperatures, you can see that this is a far stretching area. We expect the central and the western United States to be encompassed mostly by above normal temperatures. There have been some trends at a very strong positive PNA setting up here along this west coast, and this could encourage more cold air to move through this kind of plains region. That's been a more recent development. But I think overall the best chance in the best bet is to expect probably warmer temperatures for the western 2/3 here. That's going to be the safest bet in my opinion. Now, as we move on to our next slide here, you can see we have a far above normal temperature region, and this is where we kind of see that heat wave setting up, and we've seen it set up here for quite a while in this high pressure system. And that's going to be Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and maybe climbing further up the plains. But again, some recent development has suggested that maybe this portion here will not be the case. So this remains to be known. We don't know for sure yet, but this has been what the models and my analogs have been suggesting. So still the long range forecast is calling for something more like this. But there has been some recent short range model development suggesting some short range cold air could be moving into this area, cooler air, I should say, and that's going to be, obviously leading towards maybe some differences. Either way, we don't expect warm temperatures or cold temperatures anywhere for the entire month of July. It's just overall, once we take a look at the average of every single day, that is what we expect. Now, as we take a look at that overall forecast, we see more mild and hot at times for the west in this tan area is our expectation. We expect warmer and dry conditions there for some of the four corner states up into the upper Midwest and northern plains. That's been kind of how June has gone as well. Hot and dry here in this red area here, as you can see. That is where we expect that ridge to continue to take hold of these areas. Tropical concerns for the coast, the Gulf Coast and the East Coast. I put that because, again, I think that there's a lot of factors at play. I think the tropics are overall looking a lot more like they typically look in August. Not only that, we see the colder air mass in the east, which is going to make it extra concerning for a potential landfalling system of some sort. Cooler conditions here in the lighter blue. So we expect cooler conditions and then much colder here in the blue than what you expect to see for the month of July. That is our expectation as of now overall for the entire month of July. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, check out the Prestige weather in the description and pinned comment down below for the early access to that fall forecast and very soon early access to that winter forecast. And among many, many other factors that you can check out on the website today. Also, we used, again, Trilogy Maps to make these videos today, so they make these videos possible, and they are the highest definition, most customizable maps anywhere on the internet. So be sure to check it out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe for weather videos every single day, just like this one. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload, so you never miss one. Also, like the video if you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.